Yes, people, welcome to another Flex's View here on United View. Today, because obviously I'm at 5, you know what I'm saying, I thought, let's get some opinions of some others, which usually I don't really care for their opinions, but because
so rude.
because it kind of, they can maybe give me a bit of advice on, you know, pain, heartache, how to deal with it, what direction to go. Obviously, we're about to finish 8th. You've got experience of finishing 8th, so I want to know about that.
Where are we now? Where are we now?
Sticking by managers.
Where are we now?
Play you next, mate. You might not be there for it.
Where are we now?
Obviously, well, just Spurs. So, no, it is. That's what I'm saying. So, but today, the Flex's View is based off today, of the news from David Ornstein saying that Tuchel wants Man United. Not really new news, but the fact that he's going so strong. Tuchel's been saying it's unlikely I'm going to stay here at Bayern. He would welcome the possibility of going to Manchester United. Florian Plettenberg as well, who's a big Bayern outlet journalist. He says Thomas Tuchel refuses to rule out a return to Chelsea as well, as he does not see his mission there as finished. Thomas Tuchel is tempted to guide Man United back on track should Erik ten Hag leave in the summer. However, there are still no concrete discussions yet. They've reached out to Erik ten Hag's camp, but not him directly. Taking over United with their tradition, quality and power is a big goal for Tuchel, says Florian Plettenberg.
Well, I'm not really surprisred because when it comes to Tuchel, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Bayern already announced that he's not going to be there at the end of the season. So all of this... I don't know.
We're trying to get him back apparently. So he's just clarified that no, I'm not going to reverse my decision like what Xavi did. Like, that's what's been going on.
Cool. But look, obviously his job in England, in my opinion, is incomplete. He did a very good job at Chelsea winning the Champions League. But it felt like when he went, there were like backroom issues. It wasn't just the results on the pitch. I think with Tuchel, bro, like, come on, man. Everybody knows defensively the guy knows what he's doing. And when you look at your team right about now, it's shocking from the back. So I think people like that, they can come in, they can put in order. We all know that he can put in discipline. My only confusion is, though, I'm pretty sure that Southgate is 3-1 to become the next Man United manager.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
I know
John.
that this Tuchel news has come out, but maybe we should be talking about Southgate.
Because that looks actually...
We did it this morning.
But that looks like the more realistic target.
Yeah.
No.
But it does, because he's 3-1 on.
You got to remember about the bookies just do that because people put money on it. That doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Well, okay, but Tuchel might.
There's this thing that because the bookies.
But the favourite, you'd have to say at the moment would be Gareth Southgate.
The favourite for Liverpool was Abbi Alonso.
Are we lying?
Then the favourite for Liverpool was Ruben Amorim.
No.
Okay, but
It was at one point.
Was it the bookies' favourite?
Yeah,
Really?
Abbi Alonso was.
Okay, but I think Thomas Tuchel would be a good appointment. I don't necessarily think you'll always love the playing style. Defensively, yes, but again, if you want to see the United way, you know, free flowing.
What is the United way?
Well, I think winning.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
That's it.
All right, fine. So then you
get Jose Mourinho back in there.
Yeah, why not?
Doesn't win anymore.
He won at Roma.
Spurs.
He actually won after he went to Roma. Anyway.
Well, he did. Yeah, he won a cut.
It's just us. But we're always like, we're the anomalies. Don't judge him on Spurs.
Or can you rule out Ten Hag even staying?
I think there's a chance that he stays. Also, I would need to know what's the actual FFP situation if you try to get rid of him.
Yeah.
How long has he got left on his contract? A year left.
So they don't have to give him a new deal yet. They don't.
Yeah, but how much is it going to cost to get rid of him? And then also bring in someone else new, bring in a new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's more of a money thing, if I'm honest with you.
And actually, I feel like that's something we've seen across the whole Premier League. I think there's been only 3 managerial sackings this season. Like, the fact that Pochettino is still in a job, yes, we're seeing a bit of an upturn the last couple of weeks, but he hasn't been sacked, Ten Hag hasn't been sacked. There's been a lot of managers that you would have thought, like on a normal season, they would have gone. But I think managers are staying and clubs are sticking with them because of FFP.
I think you might have
FFP's part of it. Also, what we're hearing reports as well, this was more yesterday's news, that the fact that they won't make a decision till after the FA Cup final. And then some fans are like, what, will Ineos really basically base it off one game? Like, if he beats them,
it's hard.
Because then he would have got an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup in his first 2 seasons, and the second season was riddled with injuries. Do you then go, we're going to change what we're doing. It's a new structure. Let him work with us in a different capacity. Let us just see what it's like.
This is it, Flex. He's had to play Casemiro and Johnny Evans centre-back. Bro. And then when you look at the bench, there's a bunch of 16, 17-year-olds that I was like, who's that, bro? I don't know who it is. Even the young boys that can ball, they're not. No one's fit. So you look at the situation. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of things he's responsible for. The signings, we have to question that talent ID because boy, it's mad out here. But when you look at the circumstance that he's had, I don't think I've seen a more injury-riddled team ever.
So you're saying...
When was the last time... Have you seen a more injured team?
Probably Chelsea. Chelsea have been up there.
Yeah, but you guys got so many players that it's kind of law of averages, isn't it? If you got like 30 players, then you're more likely to have more injuries.
If you got, yeah.
So...
They had kids against Spurs, boy.
Wow, what are you coming from that for? This is a United channel, okay?
But that's.
But no, listen. These are all mitigated circumstances, and there's so many people that haven't.
Has it been as bad of an injury list as what we saw against Palace?
Man United, Chelsea had 14 players in.
Because that was wild.
Man United had about that as well. About par.
You know how many players?
If you're gonna do that, either come on screen or stay over there because we can't.
That Fofana plays for Chelsea.
I know that's true.
I thought you were an Ipswich fan.
He came back.
Okay, just grab the mic if you're gonna do that, mate. Cool. Yeah.
I think that's fair, though.
Listen, he's had a torrid time, and look, he alludes to that, but then the pushback is there's been a lot of other managers who have had a lot of injuries as well. Does it legislate for being this bad and breaking these types of records? And Man United getting done 4-0 by Palace, getting Burnley at home, who are a championship team. 50-50 possession, getting chances against us. Even with the players you do have available. That game against Burnley, we had Bruno, we had Garnacho, we had Anthony, we had who else? Did McTominay play? Rasmus Hojlund up front, big money. Onana in goal. Like, there's still seasoned pro. Like Casemiro played. There's still like seasoned pros playing. It's not enough to just say like. Because we've got all these injuries.
I think when you're looking at Casemiro as your centre back, I think you do have to make a bit of an allowance.
And it's not just that; it's what he did in his first season. I think that balances it out.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think you lot were crap post League Cup.
Yeah,
you were crap.
Yeah.
You lot
basically we've been crap.
You lot have been crap for like over a year now.
Yeah.
So people just don't clock. But because there were signs of positivity, there were signs of progress. Yeah. It's kind of like. Do we know? Are we sure?
You would have said, and you did say actually, last season at the end, you said we've had a good season. You had to deal with all the stuff off the pitch, Ronaldo, etc. Sancho this year as well. You would have said, top 4 and a trophy, first season, that's good. Let's push on. Okay, you haven't pushed on this year, but on a 3-year deal with the injuries you've had, do you just say, oh, do you know what? Let's just stick with one more. He's out of contract at the end of next season. Let's see what we can do if we've got fit players.
And that's the $1 million question.
And a new regime.
Under a new regime.
A bit more stability for United. Maybe it's better.
Some people say because it's a new regime, you look at that and go, clear that up, start again. Don't worry about Sancho coming back and you've got to do that. Sort out the agreement situation, new manager, undo start all again. But again, you can push back and like you said, do you just give him a little bit more time? I'm really worried that how bad it's actually got. I think there's a bit of we're just accepting it a bit though. I've seen other managers have players who are still not as good as ours, even with the decimation of injuries that we've got. Burnley, player for player, are not better than Man United. So why are we seeing that? Why? How? Well, how do you?
The thing I would say about the Burnley game is Burnley were fighting for their life still, so there is still that bit of heart and belief in them to try and
get something. Teams in a row,
I know, I get that.
Up against Coventry,
I do get that.
And that happened.
The Coventry
we played Sheffield United, and it was nip and tuck. Bruno had to score from 30 yards. Then we eventually won 4-2, but it was moving crazy before that.
The Coventry one is mad. The Coventry one is mad, but the Burnley one, I feel okay, maybe we can see you also have to give credit to Burnley in that
game. I think Man United right now they're seen as food. The theatre of dreams is proper it's proper it's definitely a dream. You can go and have a go. And I'll never forget rolling it back years where I thought, oh my gosh, the invincibility's gone. And it's just been going and going and going for years. West Brom, I don't know if you remember. It was I think it was Rio's final season or something like that. Sadio Berahino. Yeah, I can't remember, but I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, this manager, and I can't remember, is it Steve Clark? It was Steve Clark, innit?
He was managing them at the time.
He went there and he goes, I know he's thinking, we can have a go at these. That's the team talk. But now. Everybody thinks, because
it's true though,
because it's a big club. Yeah. It's a big club, and then they go, come on guys. You know what they're like. We can have a go. And all of a sudden, it gives some belief. And then you're seeing other teams go and get a result, whether it be Crystal Palace, whether it be Coventry at Wembley, whether it
and our players
start to believe.
We haven't got big mentalities in that. So obviously the confidence is on the floor.
They bothered?
Well, I just think there are players there that have failed multiple times already, which is again why
This is, I think, what the biggest problem is with United overall is that the expectation is so high. It's the biggest club in the world, right? And the expectation is the highest out of every club. You know, Liverpool fans will probably say, well, theirs is more, but also they had a big period of time, Liverpool, where they were crap. They did absolutely nothing and had that drop off as well. So
this is crazy.
It is, but as soon as that Sir Alex Ferguson era finished, you know, that was a mental period. That was a 25-year period. You know, that didn't start off great either. It didn't. And then obviously went on to win absolutely everything and build a juggernaut of a team with that mentality.
But
the players were different back then.
They were
mentality was different back then as well. And what you could do in the game was different back then.
To the point, even though I do believe, I don't know what Man United are going to do. I think they're actually going to keep Ten Hag, if I'm honest with you. I think.
Do you think they should? Finish off like, do you think that
no, do you know why they shouldn't? Do you know why they shouldn't? Do you know why I don't think they should? And I could be wrong and everyone's going to clip me up, whatever, but I don't think they should, because despite the smaller teams, and we've said the smaller teams are up for it, etc., it is the manager's responsibility to get those players up for the game. And I think there's been too many games where a lot of the players, they don't look up for it. Like we've discussed it before, the Rashford's not tracking back. Like I've seen Willy Camboala left open as an 18. I don't know what's going on. You know, I feel like the players they're almost playing for themselves. And I look at it's to the point where the injury list is so long. I don't even know if all of them are injured or not.
Yeah.
If I'm to be real.
That's what it's like. Do you think Man United should change manager?
I think if they're not listening to him, and what he's trying to implement clearly isn't being heard, then yes.
But then they say this is the problem with the players. Keep the manager and get rid of these players.
Well, this is the problem with player power. This is the modern day game. And I think that, unfortunately, from a stability aspect, while you're having this all, you know, kind of new ownership and big change, it probably would be more beneficial to stick with him and like weed out the players you don't need and just stick with him for another year, let the transition. But I think that if they're not listening and it's not correlating what he wants them to do on the pitch, then I think you have no choice.
There you go, guys. Let us know what you're saying. You know where I'm at with it. I've been saying it like kind of all week. I just don't see how we can turn it around. I think it's too bad. I think it's too bad, and that's not. That's not.
Were you at Sellers Park? You weren't.
No, luckily I was not
in the studio.
No.
Watch along was good though.
Yeah, bet it was. Yeah, bet it was. Just like the last 4 of yours.
I don't do watch along. You'll never catch me in 4K during the game.
She's got all these. This is what I'm saying.
I come for the fan cam after though.
I've seen Abbi wear more shirts of all other teams than her own team. I've not seen her wear a Spurs shirt.
That's what we call it, double S.
She's worn
Shameless
Mattel,
Summers.
She's wore Bayern. Like, when's the last time you wore a Spurs
when I saw the Bayern one, I just thought, you hater.
Eric Dyer.
I'm representing Eric Dyer. You know, I'm representing Eric Dyer. He's you know.
There you go. Anyway, guys.
Big up to the boys.
Subscribe to the channel.